You know that dream of downloading an entire 4K movie in like 3 seconds? That's the incredible promise of 5G. It's supposed to feel like magic. But for this one particular flavor of 5G, well, that magic tends to vanish the second you walk behind a corner.
Right. We are talking about mmWave 5G. This is the tech that gets you those absolutely insane multi-gigabit speeds you see in the ads. But, and this is a huge but, it comes with a massive catch, one that makes it both a total game changer and honestly, ridiculously fragile. So what even is mmWave, or mmWave anyway? Well, think of it as the ultra-high-frequency VIP section of the 5G spectrum. Your 4G and most of the 5G you use today, that all lives down below 6 GHz. mmWave cranks that dial way up, starting at 24 GHz and going even higher. And all that extra frequency means more bandwidth, which means more speed. A lot more speed. I think the best way to wrap your head around this is with a car analogy. Okay, so 4G is like your trusty family car. It gets you where you need to go, no problem. Sub-6 5G, that's like a nice, capable SUV. But mmWave? Oh, mmWave is a Ferrari. We're talking blistering, insane speed. But just look at the trade-offs. The range is tiny, maybe 1,000 feet, and its ability to go through things, it's terrible. It's a super high-performance machine that needs a perfectly smooth road.
But before we get into all the problems, let's talk about why anyone would bother with this Ferrari in the first place. Because honestly, the potential here is absolutely mind-blowing.
So why put up with this diva of a technology? 3 huge reasons. First, those gigabit speeds we talked about. Second, something called ultra-low latency. This is the secret sauce that makes things like immersive virtual reality, super responsive cloud gaming, and even remote-controlled robotics possible. And third, it has massive capacity. It can handle a whole stadium full of people trying to upload videos at the same time, all without breaking a sweat.
Okay, so we get it. It's incredibly powerful. But remember that Ferrari? Turns out the world is full of bumpy roads. And for mmWave, pretty much everything is a bumpy road. Which brings us to the main event. What exactly is the kryptonite for this super signal? The answer is, well, it's both shocking and, frankly, a little bit hilarious.
All right, here's the problem in black and white. Signal strength is measured in decibels, or dB. Now, the only thing you need to remember is this. For every 3 dB you lose, your signal power gets cut in half. So that clear glass window blocking 4 dB, boom, more than half your signal is gone. A concrete wall, that can wipe out over 99% of it. And forget about energy-efficient glass or metal. They don't just weaken the signal, they practically annihilate it on the spot.
But wait, it gets crazier. Forget about walls for a second. Research from NIST discovered that a single person just walking through the signal path can cause a 26 decibel drop. That's a signal reduction of over 99.7%. Yeah, your own body can be one of the biggest enemies of a stable mmWave connection. And this isn't just an indoor problem. Even a tree can be a major villain. That same NIST study found that the leaves on a tree in the summer can cause over 5 decibels of signal loss compared to that same exact tree when its branches are bare in the winter. So your 5G speed could literally change with the seasons.
Which leads us to this one. Inescapable and kinda hilarious conclusion. In the world of high-frequency 5G, trees are the final boss.
So if mmWave is this fragile, is it just useless? No, not at all. You just can't treat it like a family car that can go anywhere. You have to give the Ferrari a proper racetrack.
So where are these racetracks? They're in specific hot zones, places with huge crowds of people all demanding a ton of data at once. Think stadiums, airports, busy downtown blocks. In these spots, the short range and the fact that it can't go through walls actually becomes a good thing. It means you can pack in a ton of capacity for thousands of people without the signals interfering with each other. And this approach also makes perfect business sense. A study by Bell Labs Consulting found that in these dense hot zones, the cost to deliver a gigabyte of data with mmWave can be up to 75% lower than with other networks. It's all about using the right tool for the job, and mmWave is a very powerful, very specialized tool. So, the future isn't about choosing one or the other. It's about getting smart and creating a hybrid network that gives us the reliable coverage of an SUV and the raw speed of a Ferrari right when we need it.
And engineers are tackling this in 2 ways. First is just densification, packing lots of these small mmWave cells onto things like streetlights and traffic poles to create a dense web of coverage. The second way, though, is even smarter, building resilience right into the system itself to fight those blockages.
For example, there's a protocol called unblock, and it's genius in its simplicity. While you're connected on that perfect, direct line-of-sight path, the system is already scanning for a backup signal that's maybe bouncing off a nearby building. The instant someone walks in front of you and blocks that main path, the system just instantly switches to the backup reflected path. It keeps you connected until the coast is clear, then it seamlessly switches right back. It's basically a signal insurance policy.
And that brings us to the ultimate vision here, a totally seamless hybrid network. You'll be on reliable, wide-coverage sub-6 5G most of the time, but the moment you walk into an airport or a stadium, your phone will automatically switch over to mmWave for an incredible burst of speed. And then when you leave, it'll just switch right back. It's the best of both worlds.
So in the end, that Ferrari analogy really does hold up perfectly. mmWave is a specialized, high-performance machine. It is absolutely incredible on the smooth racetrack of a crowded stadium or airport, but it's just not built for the bumpy country roads of everyday, everywhere life.
So that leaves us with one last question for you. Knowing all of these trade-offs, would you want this technology? Would you trade that rock-solid reliability for truly mind-blowing speed, even knowing that your connection could get knocked out by a passing pedestrian or, a particularly leafy tree? Let me know what you think in the comments below.